The first woman to earn a doctorate in computer science in the United States was in 1965. A girl and a Komodo dragon were at the London Zoo in the 1930s. One of the 4 American nuclear bombs was dropped on Spain in 1966. Newlyweds. The photo was taken during the Civil War in the Dominican Republic in 1965 in Santo Domingo. United States Army Sergeant Norwood Dorman mimics the pose of a statue on a memorial for Italian soldiers of World War I while taking a brief rest during the Allied invasion of Sicily, 1943. In 1963, US President John F. Kennedy delivered his famous speech, "I am a Berliner," on the square in front of Schöneberg Town Hall. Princess Diana's iconic revenge dress, worn the night Prince Charles publicly admitted to being unfaithful to her, 1994. "15-year-old Claudette Colvin refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama, in 1955, 9 months before Rosa Parks. She was arrested and found guilty of violating segregation laws." Pablo Escobar with his sister, Yenda Napoles, Colombia, 1980. Joe Martin. He was the policeman who took Ali to his first gym after his bike was stolen. A girl is on the beach holding a Japanese glass float. A road cleaner, Prague, 1920. A young Chris Rock, 1975. An African-American little person, around 1863. Famous pilot Amelia Earhart on a motor scooter in 1935. New York around 1921, there's a lady and her phonograph. Black Cat Cigarettes on Wheels, 1915. The brand, named after a cat that slept in a shop window, has become an auto advert. The first-generation Union Pacific GTEL and a then 30-year-old Detroit Electric Brougham are in Fremont, Nebraska in 1953. The Undertaker looks down at medical staff checking on mankind after he fell, unscripted, through the top of hell in a cell into the ring 16 feet below. June 28, 1998. At the New York World's Fair, Underwood introduced the world's largest typewriter. It was 2.5 meters high and weighed 14 tons, from 1939 to 1940. Sarah, who's 7 months old, is dehydrated and malnourished. Her grandmother is comforting her in Baghdad in 1998. The US-backed sanctions after the Gulf War killed an estimated 500,000 Iraqi children. The summer of 1977. It was hot, really hot. There were protests in the streets, and then, at around 8:30, the lights went out. The women are showing what you could buy for $1.34 in 1918 and 1945. The sex symbol of the 1950s, Brigitte Bardot. Early 1930s, Hoovervilles, the place where people who had lost everything during the Depression lived, one step before total homeless. She was the first African-American woman to complete Delaware Army National Guard officer candidate school in 1977. Sinking Italian Navy airship 1915. It's a May Day demonstration on the streets of Tel Aviv in 1947. Paris, 1950, garbage truck. Two boys are playing a makeshift game of golf in an empty lot, 1930. The Greenbrier Bunker, located beneath the Greenbrier Hotel, was built to house the US Congress in the event of a nuclear war. This was in West Virginia in 1959. Berlin residents got free potatoes from the Soviet military administration in Germany in May 1945. Each person was able to receive 300 grams of potatoes, 100 grams of meat, and 300 grams of bread every day. August 8, 1936, Washington, D.C. Safety first for this miss. Equipped with bumpers fore and aft, 4-year-old Betty Buck is taking no unnecessary chances as she tries her first pair of roller skates. The roadbed installation during the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, around 1936. I could stay in Atlantic City forever. A Kodak moment around 1912 at the New Jersey resort. The Moulin Rouge, Paris, 1925. Controversial New Jersey high school principal Joe Louis Clark in the 1980s. Clark became famous for his disciplinarian approach to education. He was portrayed by Morgan Freeman in the 1989 film Lean on Me. Stockholm City Hall, Sweden, 1916. Debbie Zapri and Kurt Patel, 1981. American soldiers are displaying a Nazi flag and a portrait of Adolf Hitler outside a cafe in Hohenzollernstrasse, Saarbrücken, Germany, after the capture of the city in 1945. Alright, so this is about Lil Scrappers in 1942. Raquel Welch, a production still from Lady in Cement from 1968. A textile worker is steaming a coat. Curious onlookers are watching in Alexanderplatz, East Berlin during the 1960s. During the 1970s, most cars were colourful. The 1930s saw the rise of the tattoo parlour as a more established concept. It was moving beyond just being associated with sailors, criminals and circus performers, though these groups remained significant clientele. Jerry Lee, 22, with his 13-year-old cousin wife. A Japanese soldier wades into the sea off Cape Endayadere, New Guinea, with a grenade against his head moments before it goes off. He's defying an Australian soldier who's calling on him to surrender. This happened on December 18th. 1942. This is an English literature class in Pocahontas County, USA in 1908. Drummer Girls, May 1942, Southington, Connecticut, an American town and its way of life. Southington Girls, members of the Youth Drum Corps. Mick Jagger from England, 1967. Cuban King, Congo, 1947. The Kingdom of Cuba, also known as the Kingdom of Bakuba, was located in the southeast of what is now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, in Central Africa near the Sankuru, Lulua and Kasai rivers. The Panzerkampfwagen 8 Maus, often called the Maus, was a German World War II super heavy tank prototype. Anita Ekberg, 1960. A world record 384-pound Black Sea bass was caught by Franklin Schenk of Brooklyn with a rod and reel off Catalina Island, California on August 17, 1900. Polishing a turtle shell in the 1930s. A pearl catcher on the Mississippi prepares for another dive to the bottom in 1938. The helmet is an old fuel tank from an automobile. In this apparatus, he could dive to a depth of 21 meters. The girl with the steel legs, British Commonwealth and Olympic hurdle athlete Wendy Giel from Essex in 1960, is training hard for the Seoul, South Korea Games of 1988. October 1942, Hardwick, Vermont. Mrs. Alice White is at the Victory Store vegetable counter selling donated farm produce. The money goes to the War Fund. A catch on Lake Constance, Germany in 1928. Going by bike in winter. Marilyn Monroe, 1950. A prisoner at the Wuthberlin concentration camp burst into tears after learning he wasn't included in the first group of prisoners sent to the hospital after liberation. (1866) Captured Maori of the Pai Maria Church on a prison hulk in Wellington Harbour. These prisoners were captured from Weraroa Pa by British forces. Pai Maria was a religion and anti-colonial movement. The glorious summers of the 1960s, miniskirts, dresses and knee-high boots. Spanish actress Carmen Sevilla takes the honorary kick-off of the match between Alianza Lima and Sheffield United in 1967. So in 1910 there was a boxing prize fight that was faked. It was done by a church right in their sanctuary. They were hoping to bring in a larger congregation. Western Union Messenger Boys, Hartford, Connecticut, 1912. Two young Japanese girls are training to defend the mainland from a pending United States invasion in 1945. An Atlanta policeman grabs his head after he was hit by a rock thrown by counter-demonstrators at a Ku Klux Klan parade. This happened in Atlanta on Saturday, January 21, 1989. There's a teapot-shaped cafe in Bedford, Pennsylvania from 1943. Robert Wadlow met with workers of the Ringling Bros Barnum and Bailey Circus in 1936. He toured with them for a year. A Rhodesian soldier wearing sneakers is taking a smoke break during the Rhodesian Bush War in the 1970s. Abu Dhabi, 1970 versus now. The year is 1865 and we're talking about a cabin boy. Children in Claiborne County, Tennessee do their homework by lamplight because they have no access to electricity. This was in 1940. The inquiring photographer had a real hot take question for New Yorkers in Times Square on July 12, 1925. Do you believe every jury should consist of 6 men and 6 women? Jack is getting a Coca-Cola from a self-serving machine around 1952. Fashion designer Christian Dior in his Paris atelier, 1948. A survivor from the USS Indianapolis. He was one of the few who lived through burning oil and shark attacks in the Philippine Sea in 1945. On July 21, 1950, in the town of Wuppertal, Germany, an elephant named Tuffy jumped off the local monorail. Francesca Mann, when ordered to strip, she did so provocatively, distracting the guards. She grabbed the officer's gun and shot him dead, then wounded one more before other prisoners joined her rebellion, before all being shot dead. Auschwitz, 1943. A travelling circus elephant is helping to wash a 1950 Chevrolet Fleetline Aerosedan that has 91 horsepower. A boy is fixing a bicycle in a garage. Australia, 1955. From the 1930s to the 1960s, African American women migrated north, looking for work. Many found jobs as maids. They worked in private homes, cleaning, cooking, and caring for children. 17th Airborne paratroopers, with their hair cut in Mohawk style, are being briefed for the next day's jump across the Rhine, in Arras, France. The photograph was taken on the 23rd of March, 1945. French veterans are demonstrating for higher pensions at the Place de l'Opéra in Paris, France in 1950. A headline from 1962 about Walmart's competition. David Bowie in New York, 1996. Kelly Preston, John Travolta, Bruce Willis, Uma Thurman, and Quentin Tarantino at the premiere of Pulp Fiction at the Cannes Film Festival in 1994. Ice Cream Truck, Brooklyn, 1949. Elizabeth II with her son, Aberdeenshire, Scotland, 1952. This is a scene from Charlie Chaplin's silent film The Circus from 1928. Windows on the World. Incredible vintage photo of the World Trade Center's most spectacular restaurant, 1976. Edmontosaurus annectens discovered in 1908. Actress Jenny Clare poses with her car, London, 1972. British soldiers recovering from injuries are sunbathing in a hospital in Rouen between 1914 and 1918. Apan, Young Samurai, 1912. An autochrome shot of two Algerian ladies in their traditional clothes taken on the 1st of January 1910. New York around 1922, Fanny Brice. She was a singer, actress and comedian, born Fania Borach. Raquel Welch in the 1972 film Bluebeard. The Statue of the Republic from the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. Production of baby carriages at the Icarus plant in Hungary, 1954. Alright, here we go. It's the Brooklyn Bridge, and there are horse-drawn carriages in New York, 1918. There was a California Marijuana Initiative rally in 1972. The Giant Snowman, 1966. Here we have 18-year-old George Harrison in Hamburg, Germany in 1961. It was 1972. Twins David and Diane Helm are showing off a special safety light. This was in England in 1968. The light was designed by a police officer named Michael Amelia from the Bradford Road Safety Unit. He made it to try and make the streets a little safer for kids. Former nuclear technician Mordecai Vanunu, who exposed Israel's nuclear weapons program to the British press in 1986. Martin Allen Feldman, born July 8, 1934, and who passed away December 2, 1982, was a British actor, comedian and writer. He was recognised for his prominent misaligned eyes. Anita Ekberg, 1960. A Jewish girl in Damascus, Syria, is dressed in traditional garments. This was in 1865. From 1979 to 1983, the Skinheads. Horse-drawn wagons of German refugees from Königsberg are being evacuated during the Soviet offensives into East Prussia in January 1945. A Soviet soldier takes a German soldier prisoner during the Battle of Moscow, December 1, 1941. These are captured German rifles, Mauser 98Ks. Arpad Kerner, a volcanologist, is descending on a rope to the mouth of the Stromboli volcano in Italy in 1933. The Red Light District, Tokyo, 1970s. Vladimir Lenin, Siberia, 1895. Imagine being those guys. Nothing like that thing had ever been seen before, besides some Northrop and Armstrong Whitworth experiments. It must have been amazing seeing a plane so exotic during World War II.